goes out the window over the National League as, of course, some of the big boys take a bit of a battering. We'll take a look at that and more next. We look forward to the next match day over in the Vanarama National League, and we'll get to it in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe and get your bang up to date with all things National League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here. And Wardrowski, that's right, boys and girls. The Vanarama National League is back, and I'm late. In fact, these games will be tomorrow, so you've got to get your picks in quite abruptly. So make sure you get in there, down below, check out the link. And of course, while you're at it, make sure you smash your subscribe. So here we go, boys. Let's recap the results that did take place this past weekend. Of course, look forward to the next round of matches. Let's kick it all off then, shall we? In a bumper review. Of course, there were some games midweek as well. So kick it all off at the tip of the top there. Bromley took on Grimsby, and Bromley got the win. 3-1 win for them, 2-1 for me going the other way, and I got it wrong, boys. Absolutely wrong. Meanwhile, Altrincham had a week to remember. Of course, I think they got 2 wins this week, beating Kingsling 4-1. Of course, here. Of course, I won the 0-0 draw myself. I think Woking also had a good week as well, beating Chesterfield 3-1 at their own place, and I think they've also got double digits, double wins on this one. 3-1 win for them. Those were the midweek games. Kicking off forward to the actual weekend games, and we had a postponement, of course. No COVID this time. Rain, the major factor here. I think Wrexham were 2-0 up and on their way to 3 points, but unfortunately that game will have to come back again as Aldershot and Wrexham was postponed. Dagenham and Redbridge, another win there, low for Altrincham, beating them 3-2 at their place. 6 points for them this week and scoring 7 goals in those 2 games. Absolutely fantastic week for them. Meanwhile, Eastleigh, they picked up a draw against Boreham, and I called it, boys. Absolutely called it. 1-1 in the end. That's my first pick that I got right, I think. Meanwhile, Barnet and Halifax also drew 0-0 in the end on that one. Chesterfield also postponed against Yeovil. Not too sure about that one, but yeah, did not happen. Kicking off forward, Weymouth against Stockport County. A big win for Stockport County as they tried to put a stranglehold in the top of the table. We'll look at the table in a minute. Grimsby smashed past Dover Athletic, 6-0 win for them. Kings Lynn made it back-to-back wins. Actually, they picked up a win from the midweek, of course, so 3 points for them long last. Notts County did get battered though by Woking. Again, scored 7 goals between those 2 matches, and again 2 big wins, beating Chesterfield and Notts County. Both of those you would put in that promotion candidate discussion. And of course, Solihull beat Southend, who are struggling, guys. They could be free falling even out of the National League. It's absolutely a shit show going on over there. Meanwhile, Torquay United smashed past Wealdstone 5-0 in the end. So let's bring you bang up to date with the table. This is what it looks like. Grimsby are top at the moment, 20 points, just the 1 blip on the resume so far. Everyone has suffered at least 1 defeat. Dagenham are still in second, Chesterfield are third, Boreham Wood, Halifax and Altrincham make up the top 6. Where are they? Southend down in 21st spot. They're saving grace, really. It's Dover Athletic with a -9. Aldershot are, of course, sandwiched between those 2 at the bottom there. But, of course, it is pretty hectic. Of course, so Woking, who got the other double digits? Altrincham up to 6. Big week for them, moving back into the playoff contention. Let's take a look at the leaderboard then, shall we, for the Prediction League. This is for this week and this week alone. DJC picked him up 7 points there this past week. Winky up there alongside JSPFC and Kyle McGuckian. As for the overall grand scheme, I think this is what the leaderboard looks like right here, right now. It is Tom Stainers to lose, 47 points on the board. James BCFC are great, is in second, and then a chasing bloody pack. Well, that's that. Let's get into it. Of course, it's the code if you want to get involved with the next one. Cutley/non-league. So here go. Of course, these matches take place tomorrow, and then, of course, we'll be back again midweek for the weekend action. So here are those games, kicking it all off with the big boys this week. Altrincham up against Grimsby, of course. So it's probably the game they don't really want to be playing, but they're going to be playing them anyway. These decided to the 6 times since 2010. 2 wins for Altrincham, 1 win for Grimsby, 3 draws. Biggest win for Altrincham, 2-1 win. The biggest win for Grimsby, a 5-0 win. Of course, coming into this, Altrincham with 3 wins on the bounce, just 1 defeat the past 5 games. Meanwhile, 1 defeat the past 6 games for Grimsby, both coming into this in very good form. That's that picture that in Altrincham was a 2-1 win for Altrincham. That's back in August 2015. Heading into this one, of course, Altrincham 3 wins on the bounce. Of course, Grimsby just 1 win on the bounce at the moment. Of course, they beat Dover 6-0. Prior to that, they did lose to Bromley. Of course, heading into this, Grimsby's rise to the tip of the top of the table. They're up to 2nd right now, actually 1st right now, doing very good. Of course, trying to get bounced back at the 1st attempt. As Altrincham, a steady surge into the top 6 and into the playoffs as well. I do have basic odds on this one. What do we have on the odds? I'll tell you right here, right now. Grimsby are your favourites for this one, but only just. Altrincham, of course, not too far away either. Got a bit of a form between them. themselves as well. Going to go with a win for Grimsby on this one, 3-1 win in the end to give themselves a big old boost and maybe even remain top of the pops, of course, in the National League. Next up, of course, we have Boreham Wood. They're going to be taking on Torquay United over at Boreham Wood. Now, these two sides played each other 13 times in 2002. 6 wins for Boreham Wood, 5 for Torquay and 2 draws. Biggest win for Boreham Wood, 3-1 win. The biggest win in their way was a 5-0 win. Of course, coming into this, Boreham Wood just 1 win in 4 for them. Meanwhile, Torquay unbeaten the last 3, picking a couple of wins and a draw to boot. Last time the played each other over in Boreham Wood was a 0-0 draw back in March 2021. The home side hasn't won this game since Torquay beat Boreham Wood in the FA Cup qualifying campaign way back in 2019. Boreham Wood coming to us on the back of that draw against Eastleigh. Torquay coming to us on the back of a 5-0 win against Wealdstone. Odds on this one we have Boreham Wood are your favourites, Torquay are your underdogs, and the draw is in the middle of all this. I'm going to go with a win for Boreham Wood on this one, 2-0 win. Going with the bookies on this to keep on keeping on with Boreham Wood doing okay. Next, of course, we're Bromley up against Weymouth. I think all the games are going ahead, according to my eyes anyway. These two sides, of course, played each other 4 times in 2009. 3 wins for Bromley, 1 for Weymouth, and 0 draws. Biggest win for Bromley, 4-0 win. The one and only win for Weymouth was a 2-1 win. And coming into this, Bromley actually won 3 on the bounce. Meanwhile, Weymouth without a win in 5, of course. Weymouth did beat Bromley last round. That was, of course, a 2-1 win. Sorry. Bromley did beat Weymouth last round. It was a 3-2 win. It was in Bromley. That was way back in October 2020. Of course, Bromley did beat Grimsby last round. Weymouth did lose to Stockport last round. Odds on this one, Bromley are your red hot favourites. Of course, Weymouth are your massively underdogs on this one. Going to go with the window for Bromley on this one. And, of course, we'll keep their dream alive for them. Next, of course, we have Dover Athletic against Aldershot as a relegation 6-pointer. Could put the pressure on Southend United, of course, this banger. Of course, where are you? There you are. Very, very tight as well on the bookies' odds on this one. Anyway, played each other 14 times in 2010. 6 wins for Dover, 7 wins for Aldershot. And we got 1 draw. Biggest win for Dover, 5-2 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-0 win. Dover come into this 3 draws and 3 defeats in the past 6. Meanwhile, Aldershot comes to just 1 win in the past 6 games, both going into 25% form at the moment. Of course, the last round over in Dover was a 5-0 win for Aldershot. That was back in October 2020. Aldershot did lose to Halifax last time around, just a 1-0 win. Meanwhile, Dover did lose to Grimsby, 6-0 win as well. In fact, Dover haven't scored in 3 matches. So pretty miserable stuff at the moment. Of course, the odds on this one go in favour of Aldershot on the road. Only slightly though. Dover Athletic, of course, second favourites behind the draw. Of course, on this one, going to go there with Dover. Going to go against the grain, go against the form. Going to go against the bookies as well. 1-0 win for Dover to get the big win for them and maybe put a dent in Aldershot's survival hopes. Next, of course, we have Woking. They're going to be taking on High Flyers, Dagenham and Redbridge. Now, these two sides played each other 16 times in 2003. 4 wins for Woking, 5 wins for Dagenham and 7 draws. Biggest win for Woking, 2-0 win. The biggest win the other way is a 3-1 win. Woking coming to this back-to-back wins. Meanwhile, Dagenham coming to this just 1 win in 3, 58% form compared to the 50 of Woking. However, last time played over in Woking was a 2-0 win for Woking. That was back in October 2020. Woking did beat Notts County last round, scored, and also beat Chesterfield as well. Quick succession, 7 goals scored in the last 2 games. Meanwhile, Dagenham did lose to, of course, the Altrincham 3-2 loss last round on this one. Odds on this one, type 1 to go to your favourite at Dagenham Redbridge. They are your favourites. Woking a little bit of your underdogs on this one. Of course, the draw sandwich in between. Going to go with a win for Dagenham on this one. 2-0 win to upset the grain, of course. Well, not really upset the grain, but keep on keeping on, of course, keeping on their dream for promotion. Next, of course, Halifax. They were taking on Notts County. That's right. This coming Tuesday. They played the 5 times in 2014. 2 wins apiece and 1 draw. The biggest win for Halifax, 2-1 win. The biggest win there was a 4-2 win. Coming into this, Halifax unbeaten the last 5 games. Meanwhile, back-to-back defeats for Notts County. Bit of trouble for them. Last time they played over in Halifax was a 1-1 draw back in November 2020. Of course, Halifax coming to us on the back of that draw against Barnet. Notts County coming to us on the back of that defeat against Woking. Odds on this one go in favour of Notts County. They are your favourites. Halifax are your underdogs. The draw is actually George your furthest odds on this one. Halifax second favourites behind the draw, ahead of the draw. Anyway, I'm going to go with the win for Notts County on this one. 3-1 win, no questions asked. Even though the form is against them. Kings Lynn will entertain Barnet this midweek over at Kings Lynn. Played each other 2 times in 2020. 2 wins out of 2 for Kings Lynn, nothing for Barnet. The biggest win was a 5-1 win. They come into just 1 win in 6 though. Kings Lynn. Meanwhile, Barnet come into back-to-back games without a loss. 33% form for them at the moment. Last time I played each other in Kings Lynn was that 5-1 win. That was back in February 2021. However, coming into this, Kings Lynn did pick up a win against Maidenhead. Barnet picked up a draw against Halifax Town. In fact, Barnet, of course, also picked up a win against Weymouth. So back-to-back games without a loss. Coming into this one, the odds though are in favour of Kings Lynn. They are your favourites. Barnet, your underdogs. Massively underdogs. The draws in between on this one. Going to go with the win there for Kings Lynn on this. Going with the form. Going with, of course, the bookies as well. Kicking off form, we have Southend United, who are struggling up against Eastleigh. What's gone wrong with Southend? Absolutely nothing's gone right for them at the moment. Anyway, they played each other 0 times, heading into 4 defeats on the bouts for Southend. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat by 6 games for Eastleigh. They come into in much better form than Southend, 58% to their 17. Southend Southend back-to-back games with a loss, back-to-back games without a goal as well. Eastleigh coming to us on the back of that draw against Boreham. Prior to that, they did pick up a win against Woking. Odds on this one, Southend are still your favourites on this one, believe it or not. Eastleigh are your underdogs, 275 on that one, whatever that means. Anyway, I'm going to go with a win for Southend. Yeah, I'm going with the bookies on this one. They need a result and they need it fast, otherwise they could be in trouble for back-to-back relegations. Kicking off always Wealdstone up against Solihull Moors, that's right, over at Wealdstone, down the London way. We used to live down that neck of woods. Anyway, they played each other 2 times in 2021, 2 wins out of 2 for Solihull Moors. Of course, Wealdstone coming to this, one win in the past 4 games for them. As for Solihull Moors, just 1 defeat past 6, 75% form for them at the moment. Last time I played that in Wealdstone was a 4-1 win for Solihull. That was back in May 2021. Coming into this one, Wealdstone did lose to Torquay 5-0. As for Solihull Moors, they did pick up a winning at Southend, a 2-0 win last round. The odds on this one going in favour of Solihull Moors, they are your favourites, even though they are the away team. Wealdstone are your hosts, of course, the underdogs on this one. Going to go with the win for Solihull Moors, though, backing the bookies, backing the form, and of course, backing the plan. That is, of course, Solihull Moors. Next, of course, Wrexham Deadpool FC up against Chesterfield. This one, of course, could be a promotion zing at the end of the season. However, Wrexham need to get their arse in gear. And anyway, played each other 14 times in 2003. 4 wins for Wrexham, 6 for Chesterfield, and 4 draws. Of course, biggest win for Wrexham, 4-2 win. Biggest win the other way was a 4-0 win. Coming into this, just 1 win in 3 for Wrexham at the moment. Meanwhile, Chesterfield just 1 defeat past 6 games. Better form at the moment. 58% form compared to the 50 of Wrexham. Of course, last time we played each other in Wrexham was a 0-0 draw. The away side hasn't won this game since Chesterfield beat Wrexham back in 2019. Chesterfield did lose to Woking last round. Of course, Wrexham did lose to Stockport last round. Of course, that was on the away days, though. It's been back-to-back 1-0 wins at home for Wrexham as they try to keep the dream alive. Odds on this one go in favour of Wrexham. They are your favourites on this one. I'm going to go with them as well with a 2-1 win at home to keep the dream alive. Kicking off with Yeovil will take on Maidenhead. It's the final game of the midweek matches. Let's get into it. Played each other 3 times in 2019. 2 wins for Maidenhead, nothing for Yeovil, and 1 draw. Biggest win for Maidenhead, 4-2 win, but they're coming into this without a win in 6 at least. Meanwhile, National League, what am I talking about? The Yeovil are coming into this back-to-back defeats for them. However, much better form than Maidenhead over the 6, picking up 3 wins and 3 defeats over the last 6 games. Last time I played, though, in Yeovil was a 0-0 draw back in May 2021. Yeovil coming to us on the back of that loss to Boreham Wood. That was back in, of course, 25th of September. As for Maidenhead, they come to us on the back of that loss against Kings Lynn, which was, of course, on the 2nd of October. Anyway, heading into this one, the odds on this one going in favour of Yeovil. This one, they are your favourites. Maidenhead are your underdogs. That same odds can be found for the draw. I'm going to go with a win for Yeovil on this one, 1-0 win. Going with the bookies on this one and going with that. That's my picks, boys. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early because, of course, it is right here, right now. Games are tomorrow, so make sure you get your picks in using the code. But that is it. Of course, we'll be back for the next one, which, of course, will kick off this weekend. Until then, give it some loving. Smash your thumbs up. Smash your subscribe. Check the links down below. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and, of course, Patreon if you want to show some love into the channel. That's the place to be. Best mate for life. Get over there. Until then, we are done. Until then, we are out. Until then, I am toast.